Clout is overrated. Again, Clout is overrated. This is a creative conversation. I'm your boy, Billy Fang. I got a special guest with me, Miss Primrose. You know what I mean? And I know who she is, but I'm going to let her introduce herself to y'all.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Primrose. That's Miss P-R-I-M-R-O-S-E. All the way from New Jersey, Bridge City. But I live right here in the ATL, so they call me the Jersey Peach.
Jersey Peach. I like that. And what brought you down here?
My parents.
Okay, so you've been down for a while.
Yeah, actually, I just celebrated 18 years the other day.
So you definitely locked in. So you went to middle school, high school, you spent school here.
High school, college. Yep. I'm an 18 year old now.
You're definitely young. But you got to see the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So here we might do the creative conversation, and we just like to bring the audience to you or you to the audience. So my first question is going to be, when did you start doing music?
Well, I started taking music seriously 3 years ago, but I was singing in the church as a kid growing up. I'm a PK, pastor's kid on that. So I had to sing in the choir, and I found joy in it. I always wanted to be a superstar. When I was young, at 8 years old, I just knew I was going to be on stage singing to the top of my lungs at the table folks. But my mama told me that that wasn't realistic, so I had to do something else.
Yeah, well, she just wanted to make sure that probably you had other eggs in different baskets, so that when she was being mom.
Yeah.
But we hear Miss Primrose got a lot of music. I mean, you've been doing your thing. So what are some of your musical influences? And we're not just talking hip hop, but just all over the board.
Yeah, so my musical influences range by Marley. I'm Jamaican, so
I didn't know that.
Definitely, he's a huge part of my culture and super music and how I even make music now, like my involvement in music. Lauren Hill, Erica.
Shout out Erica.
Yeah. Even Frances Cress Spicer, she's very influential in my life. You know, she's the one that said your work that you do for others is your currency for the room here, your room here on earth. So I do a lot of work and I give and I do for other people because I have to pay for my room here on earth. So, you know, I give music. Yeah.
I mean, I really like that. A couple of names that you said, a lot of people don't really acknowledge a lot of times. That's why I said not just hip hop. And with you having a Jamaican background, when you pull, when you're looking for, like, let's say, music or beats or instrumentation, are you looking for a certain sound or certain instruments to go with it, or is that more the vibe and feel?
Well, it's really more of a vibe. So me and Black Producer, shout out to Black T Aries Productions, he has made 90% of my beats to this day. I do also work with R&R-ENT, shout out to R&R-ENT. But when we make a beat, it pretty much comes from, we have a conversation first. I tell him what I've got going on, where I'm going to go with it, and then Black literally sits there and we build a beat. Everything has been a built beat from the scratch up. There's never been a, put it off YouTube, and nothing wrong with that, but I just like having unique things that's to me, the music is to me, and it's going with exactly what situation I'm talking about at that time. So
I think that's important. I think that's important for any artist to have that kind of relationship with a producer.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can have that kind of relationship with a producer, that's a very fortunate thing. And with the uniqueness and being able to, on the spot, being like, man, I like this, or maybe you can tweak this and stuff like that. And maybe that's what gives your sound such a uniqueness about it, because the way you're approaching the songs, because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you were in the studio cooking with the producer.
We take it very seriously. In the moment that, especially when I first came to Black, so Lauren Hill, I mentioned Lauren Hill was one of my influences because I was going through a tough period of time, and her Unplugged album, specifically the song Peace of Mind, was what was on replay for me, and it got me through therapy. I went to therapy. I went, I did a lot of grounding work and a lot of self-care on myself. And then I finally went to black producers and said, hey, I think I'm ready to make music now. Because I've been searching for 20-something years to figure out what was a realistic thing since that was what my mom told me to do. But after therapy and after going through the pandemic, which is what made us all sit down on our asses and think and live with ourselves, and we had to figure out who we are and what we wanted and where we was going, that was my breakthrough moment, the season of COVID, okay? COVID made me say, what am I doing in life? And it brought me to music, and it brought me to my producer friend, Black, and I just told him, I was like, I think I'm ready. And my first song, What I Want To, is literally that breakout song, just saying, hey, I'm doing what I want to do now. I'm no longer listening to what people tell me to do, no longer holding those constraints of trying to find a realistic thing to do, no longer just going to college and getting degrees because somebody else told me to. Now I'm doing what I want to, and that was music. So that's how I got there.
That's fire. I mean, I'm just listening to a couple of other things. As you talking about Lauryn Hill, Miseducation, or if I said it correctly.
Well, it was the unplugged.
No, I was saying for me, that's what it was for me was that album. I knew that album front and back. I was singing, where were you when I needed you?
When I needed you.
Like, it was a certain feeling that album had. And the unplugged version, or if I'm thinking about the same thing, was just so phenomenally. I'm looking for the word with the acoustics and the phonetics. Everything just blended so well. I mean, I believe that's probably one of the best unplugged albums ever done.
And it was because of what she was going through at the time. They had just tried to make everybody believe she was crazy because she no longer wanted to live to their constraints. All of the messages that she gave throughout the entire session, when they put that on YouTube and then finally put it on Apple Music, that was the best thing that could have happened to me.
It had to. I mean, it was the best thing that could have happened to a lot of people.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, so many people gravitated and felt that way. I mean, and I feel like that was, to me, the separation of, and y'all might not like what I'm about to say.
Say.
But to me, that was the separation and the breakdown and deconstruction of I would say, that type of music, sound, soul being in the forefront. Because even though Jill Scott, Jaguar, right, and all of them, they had a couple runs for that year. They had that wave for that year, but they knew the power of that album and what it could do to the young ladies' minds. So that was the spin move.
And that wasn't a part of the agenda that they were pushing. What they were doing with right before the Miseducation was what they wanted to do. That's why they were taking Lauryn Hill that way. And her coming to and having that moment where she just realized, I'm being misused.
Fuck you. That's what it was. A fuck you. To me, it was a fuck you moment. And if I gotta go out, I'm going out with a fucking bang.
Right. And telling the truth. Because boy, when I say that unplugged, she told the truth, and I have chills. Even right now, I'm feeling chills just thinking about it again because of where it took me from. Like, I'm like, damn, she really.
And I'm a man saying that shit. Like, I'm a nigga. You know what time it is. But I'm real enough to say that, seeing my sisters, seeing my mom, seeing all of those. I'm from Philly. It's a soul. So it was hitting. When I say hitting, I don't know in other regions how it was hitting, but in our region,
it was hitting.
That shit was hitting. So
she had a strong power, and she still has that power. The thing is, I feel like Lauryn right now, and I know we talk about Lauryn Hill a lot, but it's because she was so influential. She's so influential even to this day, and I feel like she doesn't show up on time in certain things for a reason. Like, it's not because she just doesn't give a fuck and da-da-da, which there's a certain level of don't give a fuck to.
I just tell everybody this, how many times have you been late to something?
All the time.
And we can hold a lot of people accountable for that. So right there, we're going to move on to that part. And so, what I would say, do you play any instruments or read, or do you read music or anything like that?
Yeah, so funny enough, a lot of people don't know this. This is an exclusive. So when I was in high school, I used to play the baritone. A lot of people don't know that, right? I was in marching band. I played the baritone, but as far as instruments that I play now, I play the acoustic guitar, and also something people don't know because I don't showcase those things.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, that's for me. And so the few people that I have showed are always like, you need to do this for people. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this for
Some things are just for you.
Yeah, like y'all get the music, y'all get the expressions and everything else. But when I go and I play that guitar and I'm in my room and in my house, and it's just for me.
Like I think a guitar, because I know a lot of people that can really play guitars too, but it's just like, I try my best. Let's just say that I fucking bought an electric guitar, bought an acoustic guitar, and the way Benny played the guitar is I would lay that bitch flat and play it like a piano, but you're holding it close to you. And that's one of the few instruments that a person is holding close to them like a baby, like a person. You know, so when we get the Princes, someone that is expressing themselves and willing to share that expression through that guitar. That's when I think like somebody like Prince's music is it has that so extra oomph because he's willing to take that extra piece of expression and put it in the music. Whereas someone like you, not saying it's wrong or right, but that's for you.
Yeah, it's for me.
That's for you. And eventually
I was gonna say, like, I have written a song or two with it. I just ain't put it out yet. So maybe
time and place.
Maybe.
Time and place.
Yeah, now we'll see.
Yeah. So I would say with the music and where you're at in your music career, how do you feel about that?
So, post Artists Are Shitty People podcast. Make sure y'all go check that out.
Say it one more time for me.
The Artists Are Shitty People podcast.
The Artists Are Shitty People podcast.
Yes.
That's very clear.
Co-starring myself and Kelby Cannick, the creator and publisher of Making the Magazine.
Yep, and we in the compound.
Yep, right now. So the me that was before that was really lost. Didn't really know where she was going. She was just doing this thing because she loved to do it, but she had no direction. Post Artists Are Shitty People podcast, me, way more clear. So the Artists Are Shitty People, it was a podcast trying to help artists understand the business and understand how to navigate in this music industry. But for me, it was artist development. And you can clearly see it from episode 1 versus episode 23. You're gonna see two different Miss Primrose, like very night and day.
Like,
and so, like even being able to do that was a blessing because I saw who I was, and I'm glad I'm not her no more. For real, for real.
Well, it's just an evolution.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I loved her. I'm glad she even took a step to come into this industry because I could have just said, "Nah, I'm just gonna keep trying to do the realistic thing and work this job and da da da." But I'm glad that her took the step and came here, and now me had to elevate to this new level because better and greater things are coming in my direction. And I see it, and the people that I'm aligning myself with, it's beautiful to watch. I'm not gonna lie, like it's been a ride. It hasn't always been great, but I am so grateful.
I like that. It hasn't always been great, but I'm grateful. That's a line that y'all need to hold on to. So if they want to get in touch with you, listen to your music, or get on the Artists Are Shitty People. Let them know how they can find and get in contact with all of that stuff because we got a lot of artists that are actually shitty people, and they might need to be on your show.
Oh yeah, no, most definitely. And like I will always tell artists, go and watch the podcast first. Like go watch it and identify yourself in those 23 episodes. You fall in there somewhere.
Yeah, because everyone has a certain time where they're a shitty person.
Right. Like people, period. But we focusing on the artists, and when you identify where you fall in there and be honest with yourself, then you can start to grow to be better. Because it starts with honesty with the self.
Yourself, that's right.
Yeah. So you can find me in all streaming platforms and anywhere, even on social media at Miss Primrose Official. That's Miss PRIMROSE Official. And spell out the Miss, because a lot of people are just putting MS. No. It's MISS Primrose.
Yeah.
Miss Primrose. So Miss Primrose Official everywhere. You can check me out on my website at MissPrimroseOfficial.com. My merch is up there if you want to support the independent artists, because we doing this all on our own.
All off the strength of the
all
muscle.
off the strength. Like we on the ground, we working, we doing the thing. So My merchandise is up there, my music is up there. Any events that I have coming up, I sell tickets on there. Support me, please. Support the independent artists. It comes directly to me. I put it right back into the music. I put it right back into everything that we got going on here.
Yes.
And you know, we're gonna make strides. We're gonna be doing things, and I would love to have you a part of the journey with me. So subscribe as well on my YouTube.
Yeah,
I
hit
have
that
some,
notification button. Bing.
yes, I have some vlogs up there. You can see from the very beginning of my career, the vlogs that I was doing at the beginning. When I say that was a whole different life compared to where I am now, like it's so nostalgic to even watch, for real. Because I watched my very first Music Is My Therapy, the journey of Miss Primrose, my very first vlog from my first month of doing music, and the opportunities that I was even afforded then to looking at me now. It's like, wow, I'm glad I documented that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so glad I've documented a lot of these things along the way. And that's something that a lot of artists, we tend to forget to do because we think we'll be here in this moment forever, and we're not. We elevate, we grow, we move on to bigger and better things. So document your time. Remember where you started, so that when you're going, it's like the Sankofa bird, an African proverb. Sankofa means never forget where you come from. You have to know your past in order to move on to your future self. So keep up with yourself.
Keep up with yourself. Keep up with your people.
Yeah.
Make sure you give back.
Support.
And the last, and one of the things that you said, I really like what you said. You was living in your purpose now, which is paying. What are you saying? Paying a rent here by helping other people.
Yes, and exactly how she said it. Your service is your rent for the room here on earth. Your service is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. So serve well.
And we just gonna leave it at that.
Yes.
Clout is overrated. Benny Fane.
It's Primrose.
How?